Hi, I'm consultant Guo Junlong, and for today, I would like to share about my consultancy project for RMIT regarding the multiculturalism challenge faced by RMIT. So, RMIT is a school that has a global footprint, which means that it has various global partnerships with countries all over the world. For example, Singapore and also countries in Europe. This means that RMIT has a wide cultural diversity in its campus. So for the consultancy project that I have today, I would like to focus primarily on the RMIT campus on the RMIT campus in Australia, particularly. So before I make investigations on the multiculturalism challenge, I'll first have to discuss about the cultural diversity in RMIT. As statistics shows, there's an increasing number of international students in Australia. And out of the international students, Chinese students especially, is increasing from about 150,000 in 2022 to about 190,000 in 2025. And RMIT University is the most popular university among foreign students with a number of 26,590 international students in 2022. This has shown that RMIT is a very high popularity, is a university of very high popularity among international students, and hence this also shows that RMIT is a school that has students from various backgrounds and various cultures. So now I'd like to discuss about the multiculturalism challenge faced by RMIT. So for the challenge that I propose to investigate, will be the cultural clashes within RMIT campus between lecturers and students. And the problem that I propose to investigate is that different cultural behaviors in class significantly influence the group discussions and class participation in every class. So before I make a further investigations on the multiculturalism challenge that I've identified, I will first have to discuss about the main stakeholders involved in this project, which will be the school itself, the RMIT school itself, the university itself, the lecturers, and the students of the RMIT campus. So a further investigations of the multiculturalism challenge um, that I want to make will be the clash between the Western and the Asian learning cultures. So for the Western education cultures, it emphasizes more on interactions, which means discussions such as class discussions or group discussions. However, Asian education cultures emphasize on disciplines on the part of the students, with the responsibility of facilitating their own learning placed on them. Furthermore, Asian students display learning behaviors that can be classified as surface and achieving. This shows that Asian education cultures focuses on um, enabling Asian students, such as Chinese students particularly, to make independent learning by themselves, and uh, this is different as comparing to Western education cultures, which focuses more on communications and discussions, which can enable students that adopt the Western education cultures to learn from each other. Hence, why is this challenge important to be resolved for RMIT? Firstly, I would like to target students that adopts the Asian education cultures to focuses and to focus particularly as on the Chinese students, as the Chinese students occupies a majority part in the RMIT occupies a majority part of the international students in RMIT. So since the Chinese students will have a low participation in class due to them um cleaning more towards independent study by themselves, this will create a problem as they will not tends to participate actively during discussions in class. This will pull down the overall discussion atmosphere in the lecture in RMIT, as it will influence students students adopting the Western education cultures to also not participate actively in discussions. Hence, it will just cause the overall atmosphere of the lectures towards a more quieter learning, or a more quieter lecture. Hence, with a low participation, with a low discussion or a low participation rate in class, it will cause misunderstandings between students. For example, students will feel that they have been isolated because nobody would like to discuss with them. And hence, this feeling of isolations will enable students to experience stress, which will harm their psychological well-being. And furthermore, it will also cause the lecturer to not be able to know the progress of the students' understandings during the lectures, because as the students in the lectures does not does not participate actively in the lectures, they will not also tend to ask questions in class to clarify their doubts. Hence, the lecturer will not be able to understand their progress, will also enable the lecturer to not be able to understand their understanding of the knowledge taught in the lecture. Hence, this will cause RMIT to face a problem of a lower percentage of to face a problem of a lower results, or like weaker results of the entire cohort, as compared to cohort that participate actively in class. Because only if a cohort participate actively in class, the lecturer can then effectively help the students in the lecture to achieve a high results. So with a cohort that has a low participation rate, the lecturer um cannot help the students effectively, and thus the students might face a lower results. And this will cause RMIT to face the risk um of a damaged reputation in the global universities. So to summarize, this multiculturalism challenge faced by RMIT, which is the cultural clashes, if not being taken seriously, it will cause a lasting damage to the overall image of the RMIT, because um sorry because if the students in the RMIT campus does not do well during exams, um, it will it will let others to see RMIT as a school that cannot teach effectively to their students, which sees RMIT as a university which is very weak, and hence it will also damage the reputations of RMIT. Therefore, it will also cause they will also cause a sustainable harm to the RMIT, in the growth of our RMIT. Hence, it is very important to resolve this challenge and problem faced by RMIT regarding the cultural clash of the education culture. Only by resolving this challenge and problem, RMIT can then be able to gain a sustainable likings from international students that who would that aiming for to gain a sustainable likings from international students and stand out from the other international universities in the world. Yeah. Um. Hence. Um. Um. Yeah. Hence. This is a very important problem that RMIT should focus on, and I hope to get the contract from RMIT. Yeah. And thank you.